Hello everybody, what is up? It's Eddie and Eddie and welcome to another video on the channel for you all today. And this video we're going to be talking about, obviously, Blackburn Rovers and their owners, the Venky's. So, we'll just have a quick lowdown on Blackburn. Blackburn, EFL Championship club, former Premier League winners. And now we're going to talk about their owners now in the Venky's, who are very controversial, especially recently. So, in 2010, Indian company VH Group brought the club under the name of Venky'S Limited for £23 million. They were in the Premier League at this time. New owners sacked popular manager Sam Allardyce, who done really well with Blackburn Rovers, guiding them to fairly successful Premier League finishes, semi-finals of cup competitions, getting quite far in them as well. And Stephen Keane was put in as interim boss. Later on, he was appointed full-time boss. But controversy struck immediately with that appointment because the agent of the manager, Jerome Anderson, had a huge role in advising the takeover of the Venky's to Blackburn Rovers. So, bit of controversy right there. The man which helped the Venky's take over was part of the reason why sacking Sam Allardyce happened, and the part of the reason why they managed to bring in a manager which wasn't very successful at the club. In 2011, Blackburn posted an annual tax loss of £18.6 million, which is not a great start to your new regime as owners. And Blackburn were relegated from the Premier League in the penultimate game of the season, ending an 11-year stay in the Premier League. Blackburn spent 5 years in the Championship since then, going through multiple managers, such as, I'm not going to name them all, but 8 managers in total, going through popular ones such as Appleton, Bowyer, Mowbray and Lambert. And then they were relegated in 2017 with Tony Mowbray, who unfortunately was appointed late on, so he didn't have enough time to be able to guide them to a successful finish despite winning on the final day of the season. Relegated to League One. However, a little bit of good news for Blackburn. They were immediately promoted through the automatic positions in second in the league. Managed to get to 96 points in the table. In recent years, they have fairly been alright in the Championship. It looks like an upwards trajectory, and now it has completely hit downwards. So, they started off finishing 15th, 11th, 15th, 8th, and 7th. And now currently 17th, in the table, only 2 points above the relegation zone. And also another big thing about Blackburn, which has really upset most of the fans, has been selling most of their key players, which sometimes you can't help that, but struggling to kind of reinvest that money into the club has definitely been Blackburn's biggest problems. So selling the likes of Adam Wharton for 22 million, selling Kaminsky to Luton for about 3 million, Adam Armstrong to Southampton about 15 million, Berriton Diaz letting go of one of their top goal scorers on a free transfer to Spanish side Villarreal, with very little investment spent into the club, using loan players, free transfers, very little amount of money spent to help out the club. And in terms of the controversy around the Venky's at the moment, most recently, this is where the worry has came from Blackburn fans, despite not just about the unsuccessful finishes and selling the best players, etc. The Venky's are currently in a tax dispute with the Indian government, with 7.3 million worth of assets being seized by the Indian government. The Indian government has also tightened its grip as well on money leaving the club, money leaving the owner's pockets to overseas companies, obviously one of them such as Blackburn Rovers, which has basically meant Blackburn Rovers had little investment in the recent transfer window before, and that pretty much sums up why their transfer business really kicked off at the end of the window, because they sold Adam Wharton late on and they just didn't have enough time to be able to invest that money. And obviously we all saw with that late deal with that American MLS striker that unfortunately fell through. However, there are rumours they are trying to agree that again within the summer. However, also one thing that could potentially lead to this is HMRC. Can Blackburn Rovers afford to keep paying their tax? And if they don't pay their tax, they could potentially put the club into administration, which would mean obviously a 12-point deduction to the club. But that is unlikely. The Blackburn Rovers owners have promised, have done a recent statement to promise to try and keep the club well funded, trying to keep the club afloat, of course. So yeah, and obviously with current manager John Eustace at the moment battling to try and keep the club in the Championship, which is another huge thing as well. Relegation could massively impact the club financially. Obviously, you know, in League One games, less games on scheduled TV would mean less people would want to sponsor the club to bring in extra revenue. So yeah, that issue could really affect the club's, you know, future transfer windows and potentially force sales to some of their key players currently in the side as well. Currently, the league's top goal scorer at the moment in Sammy Skimodics. So yeah, Blackburn Rovers in a bit of trouble at the moment with the Venky'S. They have promised to try and sort out the problem at the club. Will they? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on how Blackburn Rovers... whether you think they'll stay up this season in the EFL Championship. There is a long way to go. I believe we've got 8 games left, plenty of points up for grabs, and I think their side is definitely capable of staying up. I know they do have a really tough running of fixtures, but John Eustace, for his time at Birmingham, did show that the tough fixtures were the games that they did perform in. So yeah, big things expected here from Blackburn Rovers and a big couple of months coming up. Will they stay up? Will they get relegated? Will the owners potentially, another thing that is rumoured with the owners, are they looking to sell the club? There is no confirmation whether they are looking to sell the club. They have promised to continue investing into the club, but of course, you know, you hear rumours at the time about the owner potentially selling, etc. I feel like they are heavily, you know, heavily interested in selling the club. I don't think they will as of yet. I definitely do think they want to try and still continue to make money off the club. But anyway, massive thank you to everyone that's watched this video so far on the channel. If you guys have enjoyed it, please do make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe. Massive thank you to everyone watching this. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and hopefully I will catch you all in the next video or stream on the channel. Take care, everybody. See you all soon.